The space station Alpha 7 floated quietly in the dark void. Its metal walls had seen better days, with scratches and dents marking years of use. Lieutenant Jake Miller walked down the narrow corridor, checking his watch for the 10th time that hour. The aliens would arrive soon. Dr. Rebecca Hall rushed through the automatic doors, almost dropping her tablet. "Jake, they're here. The Krelthar ship just appeared on our scanners." Jake nodded and straightened his uniform. "Remember what we discussed. Be polite, no sudden movements, and definitely no jokes about probing." Rebecca smiled nervously. "I'll try my best." 20 minutes later, they stood in the docking bay. The alien shuttle lowered with a soft hiss. Its surface shimmered like oil on water, changing colors as it moved. The door slid open, and 3 tall figures stepped out. The Krelthar looked like walking nightmares. Each stood 8 feet tall with 4 arms ending in delicate fingers. Their heads resembled mantis insects, with large compound eyes and clicking mandibles. Their skin was hard and gray like armor. "Welcome to Alpha 7, Jake said, extending his hand. "I'm Lieutenant Jake Miller, Station Commander." The lead alien tilted its head. Its translator device made its voice sound mechanical. "I am Velcron, Diplomatic Observer. We come to understand human peace methods." "Great," Jake smiled. "Please follow us to the conference room." As they walked, a maintenance robot suddenly emerged from the wall panel. Its welding torch sparked and whirred. Jake's body moved before his brain could think. He grabbed the robot, twisted its arm behind its back, and had it pinned to the ground in 3 seconds flat. The Krelthar froze. Their mandibles clicked rapidly. "Sorry about that," Jake said, getting up and brushing off his knees. "Old habits. Back on Earth, I once had a fight with my toaster. The toaster won." He laughed. Velcron's antenna twitched. "You engage in combat with cooking appliances only when they burn my bread," Jake joked. He looked at the maintenance robot. "You okay, buddy?" The robot's sensors blinked. "No damage detected. Will you release my arm now?" "Oh, right." Jake let go. "Go finish your welding, and maybe announce yourself next time?" The robot wheeled away, grumbling in binary. Rebecca cleared her throat. "The conference room is this way." In the conference room, they sat around an oval table. The Krelthar kept their distance from Jake. "You disabled our defensive technology with your bare hands," Velcron said. "Defensive technology?" Jake blinked. "That was just Carl. He's our maintenance robot. Pretty harmless unless you're holding a sandwich and it mistakes your hand for a welding surface. Ask Pete about it sometime. Poor guy had to eat soup for a week." The aliens exchanged looks, their large eyes reflecting confusion. "You treat your automated defense systems with such casual disregard?" Another Krelthar asked. "Wait, you think Carl is a defense system?" Rebecca laughed. "He's barely qualified to change light bulbs. Last week he got stuck in a revolving door for 6 hours because he couldn't figure out which way to turn." The third alien made a gurgling sound. "Your species mocks its own security measures?" "Only the ones that deserve it," Jake said. "Like, that time Command sent us a defense satellite that accidentally locked onto our own ships. We nicknamed it Friendly Fire Freddy. It became the station's mascot until they deactivated it." Velcron wrote rapid notes on a glowing tablet. "Humans make jokes about destroying their own." "Not destroying," Jake corrected. "Just mild property damage and maybe some singed eyebrows, but hey, that's how we learn, right? Plus, it makes for great stories at the station's poker night." The Krelthar delegation huddled together, whispering in their language. Jake caught words that sounded like dangerous and unpredictable. "So," Jake continued cheerfully, "what would you like to know about our peaceful diplomatic methods? We've got some great de-escalation techniques. Like last month, we stopped a bar fight by suggesting they settle it with a dance-off instead. Worked like a charm." Rebecca hid her smile behind her hand. The Krelthar looked more confused than ever. "You resolve conflicts through rhythmic movement?" Velcron asked. "Sometimes. Other times we use rock, paper, scissors. It's surprisingly effective for deciding who gets the last coffee in the break room." The meeting continued with Jake and Rebecca sharing more stories about human conflict resolution. Each tale seemed to disturb the aliens more. By the end, Velcron's notes were extensive. His final entry read, "Humans possess incredible reflexes and combat ability, yet treat violence as entertainment. Further observation required to understand this paradox." As the aliens left, Jake turned to Rebecca. "I think that went well." "They looked terrified," she replied. "Yeah, but they didn't leave immediately. That's progress, right?" Rebecca shook, her head smiling. "You're impossible, Jake. That's what my drill sergeant said. Then he cried when I graduated." The Krelthar shuttle disappeared into the stars, leaving behind a crew of humans who had no idea their casual attitude toward violence had just sparked an interstellar diplomatic crisis. The Galactic Council chambers stretched across an entire asteroid. Its dome ceiling displayed the stars above, while hundreds of different alien species sat in circular rows. Ambassador Kyle Johnson stood at the center podium, adjusting his tie nervously. The Krelthar delegate, Zextari, had specifically requested this session. Kyle could see him sitting with several colleagues, their insectoid heads turning to follow his every movement. "Thank you for allowing Earth to address this assembly," Kyle began. "We've received reports that some of our diplomatic meetings may have been misunderstood." A translator device buzzed. "Indeed," Zextari clicked. "The Council must understand human capacity for violence and their strange relationship with it." Kyle smiled carefully. "I'm happy to clarify any confusion. Please explain why humans develop weapons capable of destroying their own planet, then make jokes about it," Zextari demanded. That." Kyle chuckled. "Well, developing nuclear weapons wasn't exactly planned as entertainment. We kind of stumbled into them while trying to end a war. Then we realized we made something a bit too powerful." "A bit too powerful?" Zextari's antennae twitched. "Yeah, we had this scientist who said, 'Wow, we really screwed the pooch this time.' That became our unofficial motto for dangerous experiments. But hey, at least we didn't actually use them on ourselves. Though there were some close calls." "Close calls?" The translator made Zextari sound strangled. "Oh yeah. Like that time in 1962 when our early warning system mistook the moon for a nuclear attack. Nearly started World War III because someone forgot to account for the moon rising." Kyle shrugged. "We laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny then." "Well, maybe a little funny. How do you mistake the moon? It's been there forever." The council chamber buzzed with confused whispers. Kyle continued, warming to his topic. "Or that time we sent the Voyager missions into space. We put a golden record, with instructions on how to find Earth. We literally told the universe, 'Hey, here's a map to our house, come visit.' That's like leaving your door wide open with a sign saying, 'Valuables inside.' You invited unknown threats to your location?" Another species asked, their gelatinous form quivering. "Seemed like a good idea at the time." Kyle shrugged. "We figured if anyone found it, they'd be too advanced to bother conquering us, or they'd be so impressed by our music choices that they'd want to be friends. We included Chuck Berry, who doesn't like Chuck Berry." Zextari made urgent notes. "And if they did want to conquer you? Well, we'd already planned for that too. Have you seen our movies? We've thought of every possible invasion scenario. Aliens from space, aliens from underground, aliens from other dimensions. We've got contingency plans for all of them, though most of them involve nuclear weapons. Again, your solution to alien invasion is to threaten nuclear destruction." Zextari sounded horrified. "Not our first choice," Kyle admitted. "First we try asking nicely, then we argue for a while. Then someone suggests rock, paper, scissors. When that fails, we remind them we're the species that juggled radioactive elements for fun when we first discovered them." "Juggled radioactive elements?" A crystalline being's facets glowed with distress. "Marie Curie carried radium in her pocket because it glowed pretty in the dark. We didn't know it was dangerous, though the glowing probably should have been a clue. Hindsight and all that." Kyle continued his explanation, unaware of the growing alarm among his audience. "We named our first nuclear tests after cartoon characters. The Fat Man bomb was named after Sidney Greenstreet from Casablanca. Not because we hate the movie, we love it, we just name our weapons weird things. We've got missiles called peacekeepers. That's like naming your nuclear submarine Tickles, the happy killer. The council members looked at each other nervously. And our space programs. We strapped people to modified intercontinental ballistic missiles. Missiles designed to destroy cities, and we put people on top. That's like using a chainsaw as a toothbrush because you're in a hurry. By now, Sexitari was frantically scribbling notes. His mandibles clicked rapidly as he processed information. Let me summarize, Kyle said, oblivious. Yes, we invented terrible weapons. Yes, we almost destroyed ourselves several times. Yes, we make jokes about it now. But that's how we cope. If we took everything seriously all the time, we'd all have nervous breakdowns. Humor is how we deal with the fact that we're clever. The Xenobiology Conference attracted species from across the galaxy. Dr. Lisa Wright checked her slides one last time before stepping onto the stage. 300 aliens filled the auditorium, their various eyes, sensors, and appendages focused on her. Welcome to my presentation on Earth's ecosystem and human evolution, Lisa began, her voice amplified through translators. I thought you might enjoy learning how we became what we are today. The first slide showed Earth from space. Beautiful planet, right? 70% water, perfect for life. But here's where it gets interesting. Almost everything on our planet wants to eat something else. She clicked to the next slide, showing a food chain diagram. We evolved on what we call a death world. Actually, we didn't know it was a death world until we met you all. We thought all planets were like this. She laughed, but the audience remained silent. Humans are apex predators. That means we're at the top of the food chain. But we weren't always. Early humans were prey to saber-toothed cats, giant hyenas, and even giant birds. So what did we do? We decided being prey was boring. A new slide appeared showing early humans hunting mammoths. We teamed up, used tools, developed strategy, and suddenly we're hunting animals 50 times our size. Mammoths were basically living mountains of meat with tusks. We'd chase them off cliffs or into traps. Then we'd have a party and eat mammoth. Steaks for weeks. The alien audience shifted uncomfortably. But wait, there's more. Lisa grinned. Once we ran out of giant animals to hunt, we started hunting each other. Wars, feuds, competitions. We turned hunting into sports. Now we paintball, which is basically practice hunting your friends without the murder part. She clicked again. And then we did something weird. We tamed our predators. The screen showed various pets, dogs, cats, even exotic animals. We took wolves, the things that used to hunt us, and turned them into living teddy bears that fetch newspapers. We bred them to be cute. Some can't even breathe properly anymore, but they're fluffy, so we're happy. A Krelthar delegate raised a claw. You removed the ability to breathe efficiently from predators? Only from bulldogs, Lisa shrugged. Their snoring is adorable, though. Next question. The next slide showed humans swimming with sharks. This is cage diving with great white sharks. These are killing machines with thousands of teeth, evolved to be perfect hunters. We get in the water with them for fun. We also pet them sometimes. They don't seem to mind. Murmurs spread through the audience. Here's a video of humans playing with grizzly bears. The screen displayed footage of wildlife rehabilitators cuddling massive bears. 700 pounds of muscle and claws can kill a moose with one swipe. We made friends with them. An alien with multiple eyes spoke up. You seek out dangerous predators deliberately? Only the really scary ones. We have tourists who pay money to swim with crocodiles, dive with sharks, and pet lions. We call it adventure tourism. The more dangerous, the more fun. Lisa advanced to her next slide. We also keep predators as pets in our homes. Cats are killing machines. They're responsible for billions of bird deaths every year. But look at this. She showed a video of a cat being dressed in a sweater. His name is Mr. Whiskers. He kills birds by day, wears reindeer, antlers at Christmas. The audience spoke among themselves again, their translators creating a buzzing noise. But here's my favorite example. Lisa clicked to show an alligator. This is a creature from when dinosaurs existed. It's basically a living tank with teeth. Some people keep them as pets. In Florida, humans share backyards with alligators. They name them, avoid them during morning coffee, and complain when they eat the neighbor's dog. They don't shoot them, though. That would be rude. A jellyfish-like being floated forward to ask, "Do humans fear nothing?" Oh, we fear plenty. Spiders, public speaking, running out of coffee. But when it comes to other predators, we either run, away screaming, make friends with them, or eat them first. Usually depends on how hungry we are. She showed another slide with a restaurant menu. Speaking of eating, we eat most things that used to eat us. Gator tacos, shark fin soup, venison. If it has meat, we'll find a way to cook it. We even eat fugu, a fish that can kill you if prepared wrong. Some chefs consider it a challenge. So let me summarize, Lisa concluded. Humans evolved on a planet where everything wants to kill you. We decided that was too much work, so we started killing back. Then we domesticated our enemies, turned hunting into sports, and vacation with predators for fun. We went from prey to sharing swimming pools with sharks in about 10,000 years. She paused, looking at her confused audience. Any questions? 100 alien hands, claws, tentacles, and appendages raised immediately. Oh boy, Lisa muttered to herself. I probably should have started with something lighter, like our war history. That's much less scary. The aliens looked at each other, nervously, realizing that humanity's biological history was even more disturbing than their nuclear weapons. At least nukes made sense. But who in their right mind keeps tigers as pets? In the back of the room, a security guard made a note in his report. Species observation update. Humans suffer from severe misidentification of threat levels. Consider survival instinct possibly inverted. Recommend continued caution. Meanwhile, Lisa cheerfully began answering questions, unaware that she'd just promoted Earth's reputation from oddly violent to actual nightmare fuel. Captain Ryan Matthews floated through the living quarters of USS Discovery. The ship's artificial gravity kept his drink steady while he checked the entertainment schedule for their alien guests. 3 Krelthar observers had arrived for a cultural exchange program, and Ryan's crew was eager to impress them. You ready for tonight? Pete, the ship's engineer, asked, pushing himself through the doorway, ready to confuse the heck out of our guests. Ryan grinned. Diana picked the movies? Yep. She's really excited about her choices. Diana Chen, the ship's communications officer, bounced into the room. I've got the perfect lineup. Movies that really show human culture and values. The main viewing room filled with crew members and their alien guests. The Krelthar sat stiffly on adapted chairs, their compound eyes reflecting the screen's light. First, up, Diana announced proudly. A classic action movie, Die Hard. The movie started playing. Within 10 minutes, the aliens watched in horror as humans shot, exploded, and threw each other through windows. But around them, the human crew laughed and cheered. Best part is coming up, shouted Greg, the medical officer. On screen, the protagonist dropped his enemy from a skyscraper while delivering a one-liner. The humans erupted in applause. The aliens clicked nervously. This represents human conflict resolution? The lead, Krelthar asked through their translator. Nah, it's just fun, Ryan replied. It's fake violence, like playing tag but with explosions. You play tag with explosions? Diana paused the movie. Think of it as stress relief. We watch pretend violence so we don't do real violence. It's actually quite peaceful when you think about it. The aliens exchanged glances, their antennae twitching. Next movie, Diana announced. A horror classic, Alien. As the chest-bursting scene played, the human crew laughed and made jokes. The aliens gripped their armrests with all 4 hands. Why do you laugh at death? A smaller Krelthar asked quietly. It's just a movie, Pete explained. The person's fine. They're probably having lunch somewhere. We know it's not real, so it's funny. You find simulated death humorous? Ryan nodded enthusiastically. Last week we played a whole prank where we convinced Bob that aliens were studying his bathroom habits. When he found out we'd just been messing with him, he laughed for hours. He still tells the story to new crew members. You frighten each other. For entertainment? Now you're getting it, Diana beamed. Next up, the classics. Weekend at Bernie's. The movie played, showing two young men dragging around their dead boss pretending he was alive. The human crew howled with laughter. Explain, the lead Krelthar demanded. They use a deceased life form as a disguise. Yeah, it's hilarious, Pete said. The whole joke is how absurd it is to pretend a dead guy is alive. Though real funerals aren't funny. We know the difference. Do you? Diana sensed tension. How about some dark comedies? They're really funny. They played Dr. Strangelove. The aliens watched humans joke about nuclear annihilation for 90 minutes. The famous riding the bomb scene made the crew erupt in cheers while the aliens sat in stunned silence. This comedy depicts the destruction of your species, a Krelthar said slowly. You find this amusing? Well, it hasn't happened yet, Greg pointed out. Though we came close a few times, but we learned from our mistakes. Mostly. Mostly? We still keep the nuclear codes on a post-it note on the president's desk. But that's for efficiency. Ryan tried to lighten the mood. How about some lighter stuff? Animation. Kids love cartoons. They played Tom and Jerry. The aliens watched a mouse repeatedly mutilate a cat with hammers, explosives, and various household items. In your children's entertainment, small creatures enact extreme violence. Without consequence? A Krelthar asked. It teaches physics, Pete said proudly. Like how falling anvils work in real gravity. But the cat does not die. That's the joke. Everything's fine after 30 seconds. The final movie was Airplane. The slapstick comedy featured disasters, crashes, and ridiculous death scenes. Every gag made the humans. Colonel Amanda Porter stood on the observation deck, explaining the training exercise to the Krelthar delegation. Below, Earth's military forces prepared for what they called Operation Laughing Duck. This is a standard combat simulation, Amanda said proudly. We run these monthly to keep our forces sharp. Steve Adams, the simulation overseer, joined them with a coffee cup that read, World's Most Boring Job. He saluted lazily. Ready when you are, boss. The aliens watched nervously. 3 months of studying humans had taught them that any military operation could go sideways quickly. Begin exercise, Amanda commanded. On the ground, soldiers in full gear moved through the training course. The lead squad encountered a simulated enemy bunker. Their radio chatter came through the speakers. Red team approaching target. Tactical. Entry in 3, 2, 1. Wait, does anyone know how to work this door? It has a keypad. Try 1, 2, 3, 4. That won't work, Bob. Someone try the birthday paradox. There's only 365 combinations if we assume they only use dates. Just kick it in. Can't. Jim has kicking privileges this week. I lost them in poker. The Krelthar tilted their heads in confusion. They play games for tactical responsibilities? It keeps things interesting, Steve shrugged. The radio continued. Command, we need password assistance. Have you tried password? Command responded. That worked. We're in. The aliens made rapid notes. Inside the bunker simulation, the squad encountered enemies armed with paint guns. The exercise quickly devolved from military precision to elaborate comedy. Grenade out. That's a sandwich, Johnson, not a grenade. Same shape. Close enough. Combat tactics require appropriate equipment. Your face requires appropriate equipment. The squad erupted in laughter while paint splatters covered the walls. A soldier tried to draw a smiley face with his paint rounds while his teammate performed interpretive dance to distract the enemy. Steve sipped his coffee. This is actually going better than last month. What happened last month? The lead, Krelthar asked nervously. Tank Battalion got lost, ended up playing Marco Polo through the radio for 2 hours. Found their way when someone ordered pizza for the exercise zone. On the field, the simulation's objective changed. The soldiers needed to extract a VIP. They found their target, a life-sized cutout of a flamingo wearing sunglasses. Protecting. The asset. Move, move, move. Asset is secure. Wait, why is it a flamingo? Don't question command's choices. Remember the time they sent us after a rubber duck? That was last week. I still haven't recovered. The soldiers proceeded to do a tactical, Retreat while carrying the flamingo like it was wounded royalty. They took turns holding its flipper and speaking to it reassuringly. A Krelthar observer's translator caught a phrase. "We spend millions training soldiers to laugh at death." Steve overheard and turned. "What?" "No, we're just seeing how they handle stress under pressure. Humor means they're not cracking." "Your entire military finds warfare amusing?" "We find stress amusing," Amanda corrected. "Fighting is serious business. But if you can't laugh during training, you'll cry during real combat." The radio buzzed again. "Command, we're taking heavy sarcasm fire. Request backup with better insults." "Negative. Work with what you've got. This isn't amateur hour." "If it's not amateur hour, why is Johnson trying to surrender to a tree?" The squad members created increasingly elaborate scenarios. They mock negotiated with imaginary enemies, offered paint grenades as peace offerings, and at one point attempted to win a battle through collective yodeling. One soldier started singing sea shanties while drowning in a puddle. His teammates harmonized while maintaining defensive positions. The aliens documented everything frantically. "They fight with performance art," one muttered. Steve's radio crackled. "Exercise complete. Success rate, who cares? Fun rate, maximum." Amanda smiled. "See? Efficient training with high morale maintenance." "But what about tactical discipline?" a Krelthar asked. Steve held up his hand. "Listen. From the field, perfectly synchronized. Sir, objective complete. Flamingo secured. Moral implications of tactical absurdity fully explored, sir." The aliens flinched. The chaos had switched to military precision in seconds. Amanda turned to them. "That's the key. They switch between professional and playful instantly. Keeps them sharp and sane." Down below, soldiers began debriefing. Someone initiated a group hug. Another started a conga line through the obstacle course. "Was this effective training?" the lead Krelthar asked weakly. "Last month they overthrew a rebel simulation by offering cookies instead of bullets. Cost, 0 casualties. Success rate, 100%. Bonus, everyone was in a better mood after." Steve checked his watch. "Almost time for Serious Sunday, where everyone acts super professional for exactly 30 minutes. It's hilarious watching them try not to laugh." The aliens processed this information. Their military operated on strict honor codes and solemn duty. These humans turned warfare into improv theater. As the delegation prepared to leave, one Krelthar asked Amanda, "If real war comes, will they fight this way?" Amanda smiled grimly. "No. In real war, they're terrifyingly effective. The jokes stop, but the teamwork they build through this stays. Plus, enemy morale drops when you're facing soldiers who seem to enjoy combat training this much." The aliens departed with footage of soldiers playing tag with safety on their weapons and arguing about who could make the best explosion sound effect. Steve waved goodbye. "Next week, underwater basket weaving with submarines. Should be a blast, the bow." Krelthar's final report added a new classification. Humans possess the unique ability to train for lethal combat through carnival activities. Extreme caution advised. They might offer cookies before destroying you. Back at base, Amanda addressed her troops. "Good work today. Same time next month, except with more rubber chickens." The soldiers cheered. In the background, someone started, "Planning a medieval siege simulation using pool noodles." Military excellence was maintained through carefully managed insanity. It was the human way. Security Chief Matt Rodriguez was having a normal Thursday when the alert came through. Possible assassination attempt on the diplomatic offices. His earpiece crackled. Matt sighed and grabbed his coffee. In his 3 years of running security, he'd stopped 12 attempts on human diplomats. None were serious enough to cancel lunch over. "Kelly, Chris, suit up. We've got another wannabe." He stretched lazily. Probably just someone who read too much internet. His team moved through the building like casual tourists. Matt spotted the assassins immediately. 3 Krelthar wearing oversized trench coats, trying to blend in near the elevator. "Really?" Matt whispered to Kelly. Trench coats? It's July. The assassins jumped when they saw humans approaching. Their leader pulled out what looked like a plasma cutter, but held it backwards. Surrender, the lead assassin squeaked, his translator breaking up. Matt stopped, coffee cup halfway to his lips. Did he just tell us to surrender while pointing that thing at himself? Chris tried not to laugh. I think so, Chief. Kelly raised her hand. Professional question. Is that thing even turned on? The assassins looked down at their weapons. All three devices were clearly off. Two weren't even weapons. One held a hairdryer, another gripped a banana scanner from the cafeteria. This is embarrassing, Matt sighed. He set down his coffee. Okay, gentlemen, 3 problems. Wrong weapons, terrible timing, and you're in a building full of trained killers. Everyone here has stopped more assassination attempts than you've planned. The leader looked confused. You admit to being killers? Former killers, Matt corrected. Retired deadly weapons. We keep the skills sharp but use them for opening pickle jars now. The second assassin dropped his hairdryer. We studied your violent culture for months, clearly not long enough. Kelly walked over and took the banana scanner. This checks if fruit is ripe. Even the cafeteria lady doesn't take it seriously. Chris circled around behind them. Real question, did you actually think this through? We have a plan, the third assassin protested, which was? Step 1, infiltrate building. Step 2, confront diplomats. Step 3, victory. Matt pinched the bridge of his nose. That's not a plan. That's optimism with bullet points. The lead assassin clicked his mandibles nervously. You're not afraid? Of what? Mild disappointment? Look, let's be honest. You guys are about as threatening as a strongly worded letter. Kelly checked her. Watch. Matt, it's almost 5. Want to wrap this up? Sure. Matt addressed the assassins. New plan. You surrender, we confiscate your weapons, then we talk about this over dinner. I know a great barbecue place. The assassins shared confused looks. You want to eat with us? After our assassination attempt? First attempt is free, Chris joked. Besides, someone needs to explain why you thought a hairdryer was scary. 30 minutes later, they sat at Smoky Pete's barbecue. The assassins had removed their trench coats to reveal poorly tailored business suits. They stared at their plates of ribs and brisket. This is dead animal, an assassin stated obviously. Yep, from cows we specifically grew to eat, Matt replied, taking a bite. Circle of life. You cultivate life forms for consumption? Kelly laughed. We cultivate lots of things. Ever tried bacon? It's why we invented farming and most of civilization. Really? The lead assassin tentatively tried a fry. His mandibles clicked in surprise. This is not terrible. Most violence isn't when you... Officer Noah Taylor led the alien peace observer Kalarn through the space station's corridors. This week marked humanity's crowning achievement in pointless competitions, the annual Interdepartmental Nerf War Championships. This is our most competitive event of the year, Noah explained proudly. 14 departments fighting for glory and a trophy made of spare shuttle parts. Kalarn, a crystalline being whose surface reflected emotions in shifting colors, turned skeptical purple. Your species organizes warfare for entertainment? Oh no, this is serious business. Last year's winning team got bragging rights for 12 months. Engineering hasn't let security live it down since. They entered the main bay where crew members were setting up obstacles and barriers. A woman in bright orange gear tested her foam dart blaster, making small adjustments to its mechanism. That's Captain Lisa Chen, Noah pointed. She modified her blaster's internal spring system. Completely against regulations, but technically legal since they're not real weapons. You weaponize toys? Kalarn shifted to concerned red. We take our toys seriously. Noah grinned. The competition area looked like a war movie set. Teams wore full tactical gear with bright-colored vests. Medics stood by with bandages for the inevitable bruised egos. The scoreboard displayed Team Lagos, Engineering's crossed wrench and screwdriver, Medical's grinning skull, and Security's crossed lollipops, the result of a drunken bet from 3 years ago. Opening ceremony begins. someone announced through speakers. The teams lined up like soldiers preparing for actual combat. They performed synchronized check-loading of foam darts with military precision. Kalarn noticed their movements. They execute warfare protocols with children's toys. Muscle memory is hard to forget, Noah shrugged. Former special forces, fighter pilots, combat medics, they all end up here eventually. Safer to practice with foam than with things that go boom. The first match began. Medical versus communications. Medics used actual tactical hand signals normally reserved for battlefield first aid. Communications coordinated flanking maneuvers through their headsets with the same protocols used for real space operations. Charlie Niner, I have visual on the bandage pushers, came through the speakers, requesting permission to engage with aggressive snuggling. Kalarn's surface turned confused rainbow. Snuggling? It's what we call hitting someone with multiple foam darts. Makes it sound less violent. Lisa Chen's team executed a perfect pincer movement that would have impressed special forces. They took cover behind inflatable obstacles while their sniper perched on scaffolding, picked off targets with what looked like physics equations scrawled on his arm. Is that trigonometry? Kalarn asked. Barry takes this seriously. He calculates dart trajectories accounting for air resistance and gravitational pull. Last year he hit someone through a ventilation shaft from 50 meters away. The medics retaliated with a medically themed assault. They threw stress balls labeled as grenades, calling out, applying aggressive wellness and administering emergency mood improvement. Kalarn watched a tactical team medic use actual combat medicine techniques to navigate obstacles while protecting teammates. When shot, the medic dramatically fell, checked his non-existent pulse, and pronounced himself critically fabulous. Your warriors practice real skills but treat death as comedy. Noah considered this. If you can't laugh at the idea of dying in children's toy crossfire, you might need therapy. Ironically, our medical team offers that service too. Circle of Life. The engineering team deployed their secret weapon, robotic drones equipped with lightweight foam launchers. The crowd cheered as tiny robots provided covering fire while team members advanced. Are those automated weapons? Kalarn's surface flashed alarmed yellow. Automated fun dispensers, Noah corrected. We banned explosions after the incident of 2093. What happened in 2093? Someone confused the toy bazooka with the real one. Building 7 needed new windows, we don't talk about it. The semifinals arrived, security versus engineering. Security moved with professional precision, clearing rooms and checking corners. Engineering countered with numerical superiority and better toys. Kalarn observed security's leader giving actual military commands. Tango down. Area secure. Proceed with caution. She then immediately added, but seriously, someone grab Bob's coffee so it doesn't get cold. The key, Noah explained, is that we can switch between serious and silly instantly. Keeps us sharp but not stressed. The finals matched medical against security. Both teams had military backgrounds. They moved like their lives depended on it, despite fighting with foam. The game resembled actual special operations complete with hand signals, tactical spacing, and professional terminology. Medbay 1 to Medbay 2. Patient inbound. Prepare for emergency giglification. Copy that. Administering preventive hugs to enemy position. Kalarn watched security execute a perfectly timed breach that would have impressed any military instructor. They cleared the room systematically, covered angles professionally, then celebrated by doing the robot dance while their enemies requested high fives. Your species practices lethal skills through carnival games, Kalarn stated, surface cycling through every color of confusion. We're still deadly, Noah agreed. Just selective about it. Plus, have you ever tried shooting foam darts at your co-workers? Super therapeutic. The championship round ended with medical winning through a combination of medical knowledge and strategic use of rubber chickens as distractions. Their victory speech included peer-reviewed research on the benefits of laughter in combat training. Cleanup began. Noah watched his colleagues help each other pick up foam darts, sharing snacks and war stories. A veteran demolitions expert taught proper grenade-throwing form using plush toys while others discussed theoretical physics of perfect dart trajectories. You see, Noah said to Kalarn, we're the species that turn preparing for war into a social event. We learn tactics while making friends. Practice violence while promoting peace. It's probably the most human thing we do. Kalarn's surface settled into thoughtful silver. You convert lethal potential into social bonding. Exactly. Plus, engineering. Promised to fix the station's broken vending machine if they won. They lost, so we still have to hit it to get snacks. Some traditional skills never leave. As they left, Kalarn heard someone organizing next month's event. Zero-gravity pillow fort siege. The human capacity for weaponizing fun remained unmatched in the galaxy. Their report would note, humans successfully militarized leisure activities. Recommend observation of their inevitable intergalactic Nerf League. The universe had gained another barely comprehensible human tradition. Everyone else gained new appreciation for their own sanity. Admiral Jack Harrison stood at the podium in the Grand Diplomatic Hall. Representatives from hundreds of species filled the massive chamber. After 3 months of observations, the Galactic Council had called this final session to discuss humanity's place in the cosmic community. We've been watching humans for quite some time, the Supreme Arbiter announced. Your species presents a unique paradox. Before Admiral Harrison speaks, we have reports from our observers. Velcron stepped forward first. We witnessed humans disable defensive systems, then joke about fighting kitchen appliances. Zextari followed. We learned humans create world-ending weapons, then make movies about them. Dr. Lisa Wright's observer added, we discovered humans domesticated their predators, practice war with toys, and turn assassination attempts into dinner parties. Kalarn's crystalline form shifted colors as it spoke last. We observed humans convert lethal training into games. They maintain combat readiness through recreational violence, the council murmured. Some delegates looked concerned. Others seemed merely confused. Jack cleared his throat. Thank you for your observations. I'd like to address the confusion directly. He activated a holographic display. Yes, we have strong reflexes. Yes, we've invented terrible weapons. Yes, we laugh at death. But those observers missed one crucial detail. The connection between these things. The display showed Earth's history. We evolved on a dangerous planet. Everything wanted to eat us. We developed hunting as survival, fighting as defense, and humor as medicine. New images appeared. When we got too good at violence, we nearly destroyed ourselves. That's when we learned. Redirecting deadly instincts into harmless activities keeps them sharp but safe. He clicked to a video of the Nerf Championships. You see warfare training disguised as play. I see play disguised as survival practice. Big difference. Next came footage of action movies. You see desensitization to violence. I see catharsis. Releasing destructive impulses through fiction instead of reality. The barbecue dinner clip played. You see naivety with enemies. I see strategic de-escalation. Make friends with potential threats, reduce actual threats. Jack stepped away from the display. We don't joke about death because we don't take it seriously. We joke because we take it too seriously otherwise. Humor keeps us from being consumed by violence we're capable of. Ambassador Kyle stood up from the human delegation. Early in our space age, we almost started wars over misunderstandings. Now we invite possible enemies to dinner. This isn't stupidity. It's sophisticated psychological warfare against our own worst instincts. Dr. Lisa added, we practice with foam darts so we don't need real bullets. We watch